My child, come close. Lean in and quiet the noise that has crowded your heart for so long. This is not a random moment. This is not a coincidence of time, a mere flicker of light in your endless night. You are here, hearing me in this way, because I have ordained this moment since before your first breath. This is an appointed meeting between your spirit and my voice. So listen, beloved, not to the echo of your own doubts, not to the relentless chorus of the world's opinions, but to me. I am the one who was there in the silence you thought was abandonment. I am the whisper beneath the roar of your pain. You feel the weight of the waiting, don't you? It sits upon your shoulders like a heavy mantle, woven with threads of confusion, with strands of why and how long. You have measured time by the aching of your heart, by the milestones that passed you by the seasons that changed while your circumstance remained stubborn, unmoving. You have watched others sprint ahead on paths that seemed smooth and bright, while your own feet have felt stuck, as if in thick clay. You have smiled when you wanted to scream. You have offered congratulations to others while swallowing the bitter taste of your own seemingly perpetual not yet. And in the quiet, in the hidden places where no one else sees, you have wept. You have curled into the loneliness of it, this peculiar suffering that feels too intimate to share, too sacred to explain, too confusing to articulate. You have cried tears that fell directly from your soul onto the pillow at night, or that burned behind your eyes in a crowded room. My beloved, I saw every single one. I collected each one. Not one drop of your sacred, secret sorrow was lost to the earth. Every tear you cried in silence became a prayer before my throne, more eloquent than any words could ever be. I was not distant in those moments. I was closest then. My heart was breaking with yours, not from the pain itself, but from your feeling that you were bearing it alone. You were never alone. I never left you. Even when the silence was so profound, you were convinced I had. You have questioned your own worth in this delay. You have wondered if I was displeased, if some hidden fault had disqualified you, if you were being punished for a mistake you could not even remember. Hear me, and let this truth dismantle that lie. This was not punishment. This was never rejection. This was sacred positioning. While you felt overlooked, you were being overseen by my hand. While you felt unprepared and exposed, you were being covered. While you felt pushed to the back, you were being placed in a pocket of divine protection, sheltered from a storm you could not yet see, hidden from eyes that sought your harm. Think of the times the door slammed shut and the echo felt like a verdict against your dreams. Think of the relationship that ended, leaving you bewildered in the aftermath. Think of the opportunity that shimmered on the horizon, only to dissolve like a mirage. You interpreted these as failures. You wore them as evidence of your lack. But I was building a wall of safety around you. I was removing what was destined to drain you and closing what was designed to divert you. I was letting certain connections fracture so you would not be anchored to a shore I was calling you to leave. The loneliness that followed was not my absence. It was the clearing of the stage, the creating of a holy space where only you and I could work. It was in that ache of isolation that your true identity, separate from the applause or approval of any person, began to take root. You have felt misunderstood. Perhaps you were called too sensitive, too intense, too much, too quiet, too dreamy, too different. Those labels hurt because they felt like a rejection of the very core I placed within you. They tried to make you shrink, to apologize for the depth of your feeling, for the capacity of your hope. But your sensitivity is your spiritual antenna. Your intensity is the fire of your purpose that cannot be contained in an ordinary vessel. Your too much is the overflow of a destiny that is meant to bless many. I did not design you to fit in. I designed you to stand out, And for a season, standing out feels like standing alone. But it is in that standing alone that you learn to stand on me. So come, rest here. Lay down the burden of having to figure it all out. Release the need to justify the weight to anyone, even to yourself. This season of hiddenness has not been a mark of my forgetfulness, but a signature of my favor. You were not buried, you were planted. And what happens in the dark, beneath the weight of the soil, is the silent, miraculous work of becoming. The shell must break. The tender shoot must push through the darkness, gathering a strength it could never have gained in the open air. It is a process that cannot be rushed. It is a work that cannot be seen. And it is absolutely necessary. I am here in this quiet with you. I am speaking over the seeds of promise that have felt dormant within you. They are alive. They have been listening to the rhythm of my heart all this time. The waiting is coming to an end. The hidden season has served its sacred purpose. But before the sudden shift, before the public reveal, you must understand the depth of the protection you have been under. You must see the enemies that were silenced by your seeming silence. This is where we must go next, into the truth of what was happening behind the scenes, in the spiritual realm where I fought for you while you simply tried to survive. My beloved, I need you to look back with me for a moment, but not with the eyes of your pain. Look back with the eyes of my spirit. See the landscape of these past years not as a barren wasteland of rejection, but as a guarded fortress of preparation. There were battles being waged that you knew nothing about. There were whispers in rooms you never entered, conversations you never heard, intentions aimed at your heart that never found their mark. You felt the chill of them though, didn't you? A coldness where there should have been warmth, a subtle shift in the air, a smile that didn't quite reach the eyes. You dismissed it, told yourself you were being paranoid, too sensitive again. But that discernment was my gift to you, a quiet alarm in your spirit, a shield you did not even know you were raising. I saw the secret alliances formed against your rising. I saw the envy that festered in hearts that once claimed to celebrate you. I saw the lies crafted in the shadows, the subtle narratives designed to shrink your reputation, to paint your patience as passivity, your depth as dysfunction, your silence as defeat. They gathered in their insecure huddles, and they decided, without a word spoken to you, what your ceiling would be. They assigned you a limit based on their own fears. They labeled your anointing as arrogance, your uniqueness as a threat. They were not just indifferent, my child. In some cases, they were active, silent opposition. And you knew. In your spirit, you knew. But what did you do? This is what I want you to see. This is the strength I have been cultivating in you that is far greater than any public victory. When the gossip reached your ears, you chose silence. When the betrayal cut deep, you laid down the knife of retaliation. When you had every human right to defend yourself, to set the record straight, to scream your pain into their faces, you turned away. You came to your secret place, and you wept. You brought your bleeding heart to me, and you chose trust over revenge. You honored me by refusing to fight a flesh and blood battle with flesh and blood weapons. That silence was not weakness. It was supreme, faith-filled strength. It was you handing me the gavel and saying, "You judge, you defend. I will wait." Do you remember the exhaustion of that? The holy exhaustion of swallowing your own fire? The world calls that being a pushover. The kingdom calls that being a warrior. You were fighting the true fight, the fight to keep your heart clean, to keep your hands from staining themselves with the mud of their malice. While they thought they were burying you, you were, in your quiet obedience, burying the seeds of their own downfall. For I cannot and will not bless a warfare born of spite, but I rise like a mighty tempest to defend the one who makes me their refuge. Your silence was the sound of faith echoing in the chambers of heaven. It was the sound that disarmed principalities and powers. They misinterpreted your stillness. They took your prayers as proof of your powerlessness. They saw your tears as a sign of breakdown. They whispered, "She will never recover. He will never rise from this." This is the end of their vision. They counted you out. They wrote your conclusion while your story was still being written by my hand. They moved on, believing you were stuck, a relic of a past season. They forgot about you. But I never forgot. I was setting the stage. Their forgetting was a necessary part of your hiding. Had they remembered, had they kept you in their sights, their jealousy would have stirred anew. Their opposition would have intensified. So I let a holy obscurity fall over you. I let them dismiss you. It was the greatest protection I could give you. I was removing from your life the people who were assigned to drain the destiny from you. The friendly face that was a funnel for your confidence. The voice of wisdom that was subtly pouring doubt on every dream. The relationship that demanded you make yourself smaller to make them feel secure. Their departure felt like amputation. You questioned what was wrong with you that they would leave. Nothing was wrong with you, beloved. Something was right with you. The destiny on your life began to glow with an intensity that their purpose could not coexist with. They either had to change and rise with you, which they refused, or be removed. I did the removing, to save you the greater pain of their sabotage later. You have carried the loneliness of their absence, the sting of their betrayal, as a personal failure. You have replayed the scenes, wondering what you could have done differently. Stop. The chapters are closed. The characters have exited the stage. Their role in your story is complete. Their exit was not a plot hole. It was a pivotal plot point. It created the space, the empty, silent, fertile space, where I could become your everything. Where you would learn that my approval is the only breath you need. Where you would discover that a circle of me alone is an unbreakable fortress. So see it now. The closed doors were barriers against their access. The lost opportunities were paths that led to their territory. The silence you kept was a force field. Every time you chose to pray instead of plead your case, you were activating a divine security system around your destiny. They thought you were hiding in shame. You were hiding in my shadow. And there is a mighty difference. In my shadow, you are invisible to the enemy's schemes, but you are fully visible to my favor. You are being transformed. The season of silent opposition is over. The season of visible vindication is upon you. But first, you must understand the purpose of the divine delay itself. You must see the masterpiece that was being crafted in the cellar, out of sight. The strength that was forged in the fire of isolation is the very strength that will now carry you onto a public stage. Let me show you the meaning behind the waiting. Now, my child, let me take you deeper into the heart of the matter. Let us talk about the delay itself, not as a passive space of emptiness, but as the most active, intentional season of your life. You have called it waiting. I call it crafting. You have seen it as a holding pattern. I designed it as a launching pad. Every single day of what felt like stagnation was, in my economy, a day of critical installation. I was not making you wait. I was making you ready. And readiness, true kingdom readiness, cannot be rushed. Think of the finest sword. It is not forged in a moment. The metal is chosen, then heated in a fire so intense it becomes liquid, losing its former shape entirely. Then it is hammered, folded, beaten, not in cruelty, but in purpose. Then it is plunged into the cold water, a shocking contrast that sets its strength. This process is repeated again and again. To the metal, it is chaos, pain, and a seeming destruction of its identity. To the blacksmith, it is a sacred sequence, to produce a weapon of impossible strength, flexibility, and sharpness. Beloved, you have been in the hands of the master blacksmith. The fires you felt would consume you were tempering you. The blows that took your breath away were shaping you. The sudden cold plunges into disappointment were setting your resilience. You were not being destroyed. You were being forged for a purpose too weighty for a weaker version of you to bear. I hid you because your enemies, fear, insecurity, past rejection, the opinions of man, the spirit of sabotage, could not be allowed to see what I was doing. They understand public battles. They do not understand silent transformation. Had they seen the new strength forming in your spirit, the new resolve hardening in your will, the new compassion deepening in your heart, they would have launched a preemptive strike. So I drew the curtain. I created a secret workshop for your soul. In the dark, where no one offered applause, you learned to obey my voice alone. In the quiet, where no one validated your pain, you learned to find comfort in my presence alone. In the scarcity, where resources were thin, you learned to rely on my provision alone. These were not lessons of lack. They were downloads of supreme authority. I had to let certain dreams, even good dreams, die. I know the grief of that. I know you buried them with tears, thinking you were burying a part of your heart. But you were only burying a seed. A seed must fall into the ground and die to its form as a seed before it can unlock its true destiny as a tree. What you perceived as the death of a promise was the necessary decomposition of a limited container. The dream was not dead. It was being transferred from the realm of your own effort into the realm of my resurrection power. It had to leave your hands to truly become mine. Your surrender was not defeat. It was the transfer of ownership. And anything fully owned by me enters a covenant of supernatural growth and life. The isolation was your classroom. In the crowd, you learned people. In isolation, you learned me. You learned the sound of my whisper above the roar of the committee in your mind. You learned the feel of my peace when the storm of anxiety raged. You learned that your value is not in your productivity, your relationships, or your public impact, but in your immutable status as my beloved. This is the unshakable foundation. Everything else that comes, the influence, the blessings, the platform, will be built upon this rock of knowing who you are in me, apart from anything you do. Without this season of hiddenness, the sudden elevation would have broken you. The praise would have become your poison. The platform would have become your prison. You were protected by the no. Every door that closed was a divine diversion from a path that would have led to a premature culmination, a small story. I was saving you for the grand narrative. You were protected by the loss. Every person who walked away took with them a ceiling they had placed over your life. Their absence felt like a wound, but it was the creation of an expansion. You now have headroom you have never had before. You were protected by the silence. In a world obsessed with noise and instant vindication, your silent endurance built a moral and spiritual authority that no argument could ever achieve. Your character became your credential. This was not a season of my absence. It was a season of my intensive presence. I was closer than your next breath, orchestrating 1,000 details you will only understand in retrospect. I was aligning connections you haven't met yet. I was softening hearts that were once hardened to you. I was preparing a place for you that fits the newly forged shape of your spirit. I was ensuring that when you finally stepped into the light, you would do so not as a desperate seeker of validation, but as a settled bearer of glory. Not to say, look at me, but to say, look at what my God has done. The preparation is complete. The forging is done. The seed has germinated in the dark soil, and now it stirs with an irresistible life, pushing toward the sun. The strength you gained in the hidden place is now more than enough for the public place. The peace you cultivated in the stillness will now be your portion in the whirlwind. The identity you found in my shadow will now shine in the spotlight, unashamed and unshakable. The shift is not coming, my child. It is here. The season of hiding is over. The season of showing forth has begun. But this showing forth will not look like you once imagined. It will be a reversal so divine, so sudden, so complete, it will leave no doubt in anyone's mind, least of all your own, that I am the author of this story. Get ready. The narrative is about to change in a single day. Now feel it, my beloved. The tremor beneath your feet is not an earthquake of fear, but the shifting of seasons. The ground is moving, not to collapse beneath you, but to rise to meet you. The atmosphere around you is crackling, charged with a new frequency. The sound of long sealed doors groaning on their hinges, not to close, but to swing wide open. The wait is over. The hidden work is done. This is the moment of sudden reversal. This is the suddenly I have whispered about in the depths of your spirit. Watch now, as I step into the narrative they thought they controlled. I am rewriting the story in real time. The very places where you were overlooked will become your platform. The very voices that whispered against you will be the ones compelled to announce your blessing. The very doors that were bolted shut will now be held open by hands that once pushed against you. I am not merely bringing you out, I am turning the tables. This is divine vindication. This is public restoration. This is the moment where I cause you to stand before those who counted you out, not in anger, not in boasting, but in the quiet, overwhelming evidence of my favor. They will look at you and not recognize the person they dismissed. They will see a steadiness in your eyes that wasn't there before, a peace that speaks of storms survived privately. They will see a strength in your posture that does not come from human confidence, but from divine certainty. They will hear an authority in your voice that is not loud, but deep, carved out by years of trusting me in the void. And they will be perplexed. They will whisper amongst themselves, "What happened to them? How did they?" And the answer will echo in the chambers of their own conscience. God happened for them. The opportunities that will now come will not come through the strained striving of your past. They will seek you out. They will find you. Phone calls from forgotten connections will ring with divine timing. Invitations will arrive for tables you never asked to sit at. Favor will meet you in the marketplace, not as a reward you earned, but as a grace I give. People will want to be near you, not for what they can get from you, but because they will recognize the scent of glory on your life, the fragrance of a soul that has been alone with me. And what of the lies that were spoken? The silent narratives woven to tarnish your name. I am the master weaver. I am taking those very threads of falsehood and weaving them into the border of your testimony. The story will not be, they were wronged and then everything got better. The story will be, they were wronged, and in their silent endurance, God built a character so radiant that the original accusation now looks absurd. The truth will not just come out, it will shine with such brilliance that the shadows where the lies hid will be utterly obliterated. You will not need to defend yourself. Your life, healed and whole and advancing, will be the defense. I will be your defender. And my defense is a complete overhaul of reality. Remember the dream that died? Watch as I resurrect it, but not in the frail form you once held. It will return larger, more vibrant, more aligned with my original intent for it than you ever dared to imagine. It will come back wearing glory. The tears you sowed into the ground of that loss are about to spring up as a harvest of joy so abundant you will not have room enough to contain it. What was taken, what was lost, what was delayed, will be returned. not merely replaced, but multiplied. I do not just restore, I redeem. I take the years the locusts have eaten, and I fill them with such abundance that the former season fades in the light of the new one. This sudden shift will feel like a gentle whirlwind. It will require you to move with me, to trust the new momentum. It will feel fast after so much stillness, but you are ready. The roots you grew in the dark are deep enough to ground you now in the light. The stability you forged in solitude will keep you steady in the spotlight. You will not be dizzy with the newness, because your center has been, and will always be, me. The narrative is flipping before your eyes. The one who was last is being ushered to the front. The one who was silent is being given a microphone. The one who was hidden is being placed on a lampstand. And it will happen in ways that are undeniably my doing. There will be no human explanation sufficient. The credit, the glory, the awe, it will all point back to me. And in that you will find your deepest satisfaction, not in the victory itself, but in the world seeing your Father's love and power displayed in your life. This is more than a breakthrough, child. This is a divine demonstration. I am using your life as a living testament to the truth that I am the God who hides, prepares, and then reveals in perfect, stunning timing. Your enemies, those seen and unseen, will look upon this and know their efforts were futile. They could not stop what they could not see, and now they cannot stop what I have finished. The seal is broken. The reveal has begun. Step out of the shadows, not with arrogance, but with the humble confidence of one who has been spoken to by God in the secret place. Your time is now. Now walk with me into this new landscape, this territory of fulfillment. It is not a barren peak of solitary achievement, but a fertile valley of restored peace, overflowing abundance, and an identity so settled it feels like coming home to your own soul. This, my child, is the restoration I promised. It is not merely the return of things, but the renewal of you. The war within you is over. The striving can cease. Breathe the air of this new season. It is infused with my shalom, a wholeness that touches every fractured part of your being. First, I restore your peace. The anxious thoughts that once patrolled your mind like frantic sentries are now disarmed. The quiet you once associated with loneliness now hums with the comfort of my presence. You will sleep, truly sleep, not as an escape from the day, but as a sweet surrender into trust. The peace I give is not the absence of noise, but the presence of a deep, river-like assurance flowing in your spirit, telling you that all is well, all is held, all is being worked together by my hand. You will move through your days with a calm authority that baffles the frantic world around you. This peace is your foundation. It is the table I have prepared for you in the presence of those who once disturbed your soul. Now watch the overflow. The blessings I pour out upon you will not fit in your hands alone. They are meant to spill over, to water the ground around you, to become a source of life for others who are still in their own season of hiding. The provision will come in ways that heal the old scars of scarcity. It will address not just your needs, but the secret desires of your heart, those small, holy hopes you whispered to me in the dark. I am a good father. I delight in the details. The overflow will be a tangible sign, to you and to those watching, that my favor is not a meager ration, but a ceaseless tide of goodness. And your identity, this is the most profound restoration. You are no longer the one who was too much or not enough. You are my chosen, my crafted, my anointed. You walk with the quiet dignity of one who knows their origin and their destiny. The opinions of others now fall off you like water from a sealed stone. You are not arrogant. You are finally free. Free from the need to prove, to convince, to contort yourself to fit a mold that was never yours. You wear your name, the name I call you, beloved, redeemed, mine, with an ease that comes only from having it tested in the fire and found true. This confidence is unshakable because it is not self-confidence, it is God confidence. The relationships that will now gather around you will be different. They will be reciprocal, life-giving, and marked by authenticity. No more energy vampires, no more secret competitors. I am bringing you divine connections, allies of destiny who recognize the call on your life and champion it without insecurity. They will see you, the true you, and they will celebrate what they see. You will learn the joy of community without compromise, of fellowship without fear. Your past, every painful chapter, is now being transformed into a source of authority. The very wounds that once crippled you are now places where my light shines through most brightly. You will speak to the brokenhearted with an authority that only comes from having been healed. You will strengthen the weary with a testimony of endurance that is still fresh in your spirit. Your story becomes your ministry. Your survival becomes a sanctuary for others. This is the ultimate redemption. Not that your pain is erased, but that it is used as a sacred material to build a bridge for someone else to cross over into their own promise. You will govern this new space with wisdom you learned in the hidden place. The wisdom to be generous when you could be greedy. The wisdom to be silent when you could boast. The wisdom to extend mercy because you so vividly remember your own need for it. The authority I give you is not for domination, but for stewardship, to cultivate, to protect, to bless, to create spaces where others can find me. Look around. The barren places are beginning to bloom. The relationships that were strained are being softened by this new grace upon you. The work of your hands, once frustrating and fruitless, is now finding favor and flourishing. This is the abundant life I spoke of. It is abundance of peace, of purpose, of connection, of resources, of joy. It is the full circle moment where you realize with awe that every tear, every closed door, every lonely night was a stitch in the tapestry of this magnificent present. You are entering your days of public peace. The battle for your destiny is won. The struggle for your identity is over. Now comes the living of it, the joyful, purposeful, powerful living out of all I have planted in you. This is not an end, but a glorious beginning. The hidden one is now the visible beacon. The wounded one is now the healed healer. The waiting one is now the walking testament. This is your restoration. Wear it well, share it freely, live it fully. And now, my beloved, we arrive here, not at an end, but at a beginning so vast its horizons melt into eternity. This is the final confirmation, the seal upon all I have spoken. This is the quiet, thunderous truth that will anchor you for all the days to come. I have done it. It is finished. The work of hiding, forging, and unveiling is complete in my design. Your part now is not to strive, but to receive. Not to claw your way forward, but to walk in the grace-lit path I have cleared before you. Look back one last time, not with longing or pain, but with the awe of a witness. See the winding path through the valley of shadows. See every stone that turned your ankle, every steep climb that stole your breath, every desolate stretch where you were sure you were alone. Now see my footprint beside every single one. The stone was placed to steady your gait, not to stumble you. The climb was to strengthen lungs that would one day proclaim from peaks. The desolation was the canvas upon which I would paint my most intimate companionship. You see a treacherous journey. I see a guided pilgrimage. You have not been led astray. You have been led through. And you have emerged not merely on the other side, but transformed, carrying the very essence of the journey within you, its lessons, its resilience, its faith, as your eternal inheritance. So trust me now with what comes next. Trust is no longer a desperate, clenched fist prayer in the storm. It is the relaxed, open-handed breathing of a soul that has seen and known the covenant-keeping nature of its God. Trust the process that brought you here, for it proves you can trust the guide for the path ahead. The same hand that hid you will now highlight you. The same voice that whispered comfort in the cellar will now declare your name in the courts of blessing. I am not changing methods. I am fulfilling promises. My nature is your constant. Let that be the unshakable ground of your soul. There will be moments, fleeting but familiar, when the old whisper of doubt will hiss, when a delay will feel like the old abandonment, when a challenge will smell like the old warfare. In those moments, I want you to do something new. Do not spiral into memory. Anchor into truth. Speak to your own spirit what I have spoken here. I was hidden, but now I am seen. I was prepared, and now I am positioned. My God is faithful, and this is proof. You have a testimony now. Use it as a shield. Use it as a song. Let it be the lens through which you view every circumstance. I am with you, not as a distant observer, but as the breath in your lungs, the fire in your spirit, the peace in your chaos, the song in your silence. My presence is no longer just your comfort. It is your identity. You carry me. Where you go, I go. What you touch, I bless. The authority you walk in is mine, delegated to you, a trusted child in the Father's house. Operate from this place of settled belonging. You are not an imposter hoping not to be found out. You are an heir, walking into the rooms prepared for you since the foundation of the world. Go now. Take this certainty with you. The story of your life is no longer a fragile manuscript, subject to the edits of critics and the thefts of enemies. It is an eternal scroll, written by my hand, sealed by my spirit, and its title is Redemption. Your past is prologue, your present is power, your future is fathomless favor. You were hidden until your enemies could no longer stop you. Look, they are silent now. The path is clear. The sound you hear is not their mocking, but the roar of a cloud of witnesses celebrating your faith. The light you see is not the harsh glare of examination, but the warm dawn of your appointed day. So go forth, my champion, my poet, my child. Go in the full assurance of who you are and whose you are. The hidden season has blossomed into the harvest. The tears have been turned to triumph. The waiting has been woven into wisdom. I am here. I have always been here. I will always be here. This is your destiny. Now live it. Amen.